Hello again. While while we were off camera, I finished gluing the end pieces onto the floor. The roof on top of that, also cut and glued a cardboard side to the box. I just wanted to see how it all went together and save people some boredom of watching me glue stuff together. I was watching glue dry, obviously, which you're all here for. The next step is going to be to glue this center beam onto the floor. I've marked the exact center of it, exact center of the floor and the center beam using my trusty steel ruler. I don't know where this thing came from. Came from some kind of a toolkit I got probably for free or a cheap gift from somebody. It's one of the things that's endured over the decades. So I've marked the center. So I'm going to line the center of this up to the center of the floor and glue it on. One thing I noticed is this piece, it has a channel, a groove cut in it. I don't know why. The instruction sheet doesn't really mention it. But what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to glue it channel side down because it's not exactly milled in here evenly, and it's a little splintery, and I don't see a purpose for it to be that way. Looks like the brake equipment, the wood underbeam. It just doesn't say. No. It sure doesn't say. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. But before I do that, I wanted to point something out. This is the package that the passenger trucks came in that I assembled yesterday. And this is a package that the freight trucks came in. So they kind of go the same way with this brass middle piece, bolster, I guess. And then it screws onto the side frames. And it also says on the instructions somewhere, I guess it was the instructions for the passenger car said that they're made to be mounted just screwed to the floor without a bolster. So that's why there's no instructions or piece for a bolster to go across here to support the trucks, because the trucks are supposed to have this part that sticks up to properly space it against the floor. I'm going to need to get some trucks to put on this car. I probably won't get the Varney trucks. I'm sure I can find some relatively easily, but I'd rather use probably a more modern design than the Varney trucks, something that rolls a little bit better. So I'm going to have to add a bolster to support the trucks. The passenger cars, I think I'm going to... the passenger cars, I'm just going to do the same. Try and use the same trucks. I'm going to try and find one more set of passenger car trucks. And so I haven't... So here's the way I'm thinking, is they cut a channel into it for a reason. And so it's probably not meant to be hidden. So I'm going to glue it, or a little bead of glue on it, and glue it so the channel sticks up. Not sure why. Doesn't make any difference because it's not like this is a super detailed car floor. Doesn't affect the strength of it at all. Something makes me think one of the brake details is supposed to fit down in it somehow. And so I'm lining up my center marks. Then I've also marked where it goes in the center of the floor. And what I'm going to do is use one of these clamps I got from Harbor Freight. It's not even going to fit down in there, is it? I can clamp it through the roof. I want to clamp it to the floor, though. I bought these things for a project, thinking that they were gonna be a perfect clamp. And the same thing happened, where this part was just a little bit too wide to fit in the gap of where I needed it to go. So what I'm doing here, yeah, no, that's not gonna work because it flexes too much. So I'm gonna use the trusty spring clamp. The strength of wood glue is directly proportional to how well you clamp it and support it. Clamp it well, and you'll get something that will never come apart. Let's see, it's at 13 millimeters. Just making sure that it is centered as well as I can. It looks like it needs to come over just a tad. This isn't like a crucial 12.5 millimeters. Yeah, I should really, looks like 12.5. I marked it with the pencil, but still want to make sure it's as close to the center as I possibly can get it. I'm going to put my other glasses on. The Zoom Power glasses, my cheap dollar store high magnification cheaters. Put these things on when I'm doing some model work and I can suddenly see everything. So I got it lined up center that way, get another one of these things. These things got a lot of spring to them. So that is going to be tight. That is going to be tight. Perfect. Close to perfect as I can get. It is wood after all. Kind of hard to be extremely precise with wood. So here we go. We're gonna sit and let that dry. When this is done, I'm going to stick some weights on the inside, so I'm going to properly weight it. I'm going to glue a piece of cardboard to the other side. And then what I'm probably going to do next is I think I need to figure out how these trucks, I'm probably going to use these for this car because I have them already. And these sprung trucks. But I'll figure out how to make a bolster to get it the right depth, or to where it'll ride the right height, before I start fooling with the details, such as putting on the embossed car sides.